Hello and welcome to the Sewing Whisperer and another episode in the Essential Seams playlist. Today we're exploring hem finishes, which hem to use where and when. We'll cover 18 different hem finishes, including techniques for sheer fabrics, shirting, suiting and wool, plus hems for knit fabrics. If this is your first time here, be sure to check out the other seam tutorials in this series. Each one builds your skills step by step, whether you're a beginner or brushing up. Want to sew along? There's a free downloadable pattern linked in the description below. Narrow double rolled hem finishes, 4 ways, perfect for sheers and shirting weight fabrics. Method 1, hemming foot. The hemming foot folds the fabric for you. I showed this in my different feet attachments video, which I've linked below. It takes some practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's a real time saver. Best for lightweight fabrics cut on the straight grain. I used it for the ruffles on this dress. I even tore strips of fabric and fed the torn edge straight into the foot to save time. Method 2, narrow double fold. Fold the edge narrowly, stitch close to the fold, then fold again and stitch. Great for all fabric grains, from circular skirts to wedding dresses. Method 3, wide hem with narrow stitching. Fold a wider hem, stitch narrowly, and if the hem has been levelled, don't trim it back. Instead, mark a line 6 mm or 1/4 of an inch below the finished length. Fold on that line and stitch narrowly. Trim the seam back. Duckbill scissors can be handy for this step. The duckbill scissors help you get close to the stitch line. Fold again and sew. Number 4, overlock double rolled hem. Overlock the edges, then double roll and sew. I have a friend who uses this technique for wedding dresses. Overlock the hemline with a 3-thread stitch. The overlocking helps determine the width of the hem. Double roll and sew narrowly. Method 5, shadow hem. One of my favourites. Fold 4 cm or 1.5 inches twice and stitch. Perfect for straight grain hems. I used it on the shrug sleeve in my previous video, linked below. Method 6, modified shadow hem. Same idea as the shadow hem, but with less fabric. Fold 5 mm or 3/16 of an inch, then fold 4 cm or 1.5 inches and stitch. Best for straight grain hems. Next are 2 classic hems suitable for shirts, tops and skirts. Number 7, classic shirt hem. Double roll 0.75 and then 0.75 or 5/16 of an inch, then 5/16 of an inch and sew. You could use a narrower seam allowance. You could double roll at 6 mm or 1/4 of an inch. Either width will work. Classic hem, fast fashion method, my least favourite because it looks a little cheap. First of all, overlock, then turn up the hem 1.5 cm or 1/2 inch, then stitch in the centre of the overlocking. Not suitable for shirt hems because the overlocking wears from the constant tucking in of the shirt. Blind hems for suiting, wool, trousers, skirts and jackets. Method number 9 is the blind hemming foot. I also show this technique in my different feet attachments video linked below. This is the blind hemming foot, which has a little metal plate for aligning the fabric. To sew a blind hem, set the machine to the blind hem stitch. I like to set the needle to the right, but some fabrics I will leave it to the centre. Set the stitch width to 3 and the length to 3. Prepare the fabric with an overlock style finish and press up the hem width. Then fold the fabric back on itself like this and place it under the foot with the folded edge against the metal bar on the foot. Then sew the hem. The stitches are visible on the right side because I've used a contrast thread, but note how well the sample looks with matching thread. It's such a time-saving foot and I use it often when hemming trousers. Number 10, Overlock and slip stitch. This technique is most suited to trouser hems. Overlock and then fold 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches. Fold back on itself like this and pin. Thread a needle with a single thread and knot the end. Always work with the hem sitting in the crook of your left hand. Reverse to right hand for left-handers, and start at the top with the knot in the overlocking, followed by a back tack stitch. I'm working sideways due to the camera angle. Pick up a thread from the main section. Go back inside the overlocking where you just came out and run along for about 1 centimeter or 3/16 of an inch. Continue with this technique until completed. Finish with 2 to 3 back stitches at the end in the overlocking. Method 11, no overlocking, just fold and slip stitch. This method's similar to the previous method but is a little bulkier. Prepare the fabric by folding over 5 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch, then fold 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches and press. Slip stitch as before, sliding along the folded edge instead of the overlocking. Number 12, herringbone stitched hem. This is for lined garments only. Exposed stitches may catch on shoes. Prepare the fabric by turning it up 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches. You don't need to neaten this because it's a fully lined garment, so the raw edges won't be exposed. Pin in place. Start by stitching into the hem, then pick up a thread on the main section, forming a crossover with the thread. Pick up a stitch on the hem, continuing the crossover method. Continue to the end. This technique allows movement for the hem and doesn't pull with all the bulk of a woolen hem that includes lining. Method 13, bound and slip stitched hem. First of all, bind the hem. See my binding video for the techniques listed in the details below. I've used the ditch stitch method to attach the binding for this sample. Once the binding's completed, fold the hem up 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches and slip stitch. This method gives a lovely finish, but it can be a little bulky depending on the fabric you're using. False hem. This method can be used to lengthen a garment by letting down a wider hem and adding the wide binding. Or if you didn't have enough fabric for a longer hem, or simply because it looks nice, you can also use a strip of lace instead of wide binding. Cut a 5 centimeter or 2 inch bias strip and fold both edges in 5 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch. Sew the binding to the hem and then understitch. Push the seam allowance to the binding and edge stitch. This is known as understitching. See my previous video linked in the description below on understitching. Press the binding up to create a hem finish and pin in place. Fold the fabric over and slip stitch. Techniques for hemming jeans. Number 15, jeans double rolled hem. Double roll 1.5 centimeters or 5/8 of an inch. And sew. I've just used a contrast thread, but you can use a top stitch thread. Some of the newer computerized machines can play up with the top stitch thread, particularly the bobbin. Front lobe bobbin cases can have tension adjusted, but drop-in bobbins have factory settings that can't really be adjusted. Number 16, reattached existing hem. Cut off the old hem and attach to keep the worn washed out look. Mark and cut where the hem is to finish. Cut off the old hem 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch above the hem. Pin the original hem to the jeans. Using a zipper foot, sew the hem onto the bottom of the jeans. Overlock or zigzag the raw edges. Catch the seam allowance to the inner and outer leg seams to hold the seam allowance up. Hemming knits. Number 17, twin needle knit hem. First, overlock the edge, fold up 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches and pin. Place a jersey point twin needle into the machine and thread. Threading with a twin needle, let's use 2 threads. If you don't have a second spool pin, place 1 spool in a container behind your machine. Make sure each thread sits on opposite sides of the tension discs. Carefully guide them so they don't tangle through the rest of the thread guides. Then thread each needle. The bobbin threads as usual. To stitch with a twin needle, stitch with the right side facing up. Check where the edge of the fabric aligns on the throat plate when the left edge of the hem sits beside the left needle. Line the hem edge with the marking on the throat plate and sew the hem. Number 18, cover stitch knit hem. Fold up 3 centimeters or 1 1/4 inches. Note, for this example, I'm using a Janome Cover Pro 1000 CPX. Once again, check where the edge of the fabric aligns on the throat plate when the left edge of the hem sits beside the left needle. Line the hem edge with the marking on the throat plate and sew the hem. There's no need to overlock beforehand because the machine neatens the seam. And that's a wrap on hems. Which hem technique will you try first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your favourites or any tips of your own. Next up in the playlist is the grand finale. We'll bring together all those essential sewing skills into a beautiful, simple, sleeveless top. You won't want to miss it. So hit like, tap subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll be the first to see it. If you've been sewing along, I'll see you in the next one. Pattern pieces at the ready.